Hello, this is Stephanie Dawson with Dawson Designs. Today I'd like to talk to you about a few of my favorite things. And these all have to do with card making. These are the supplies that I use the most when I make my cards. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is my favorite paper. It's made by Conqueror, and I'll just read the side to you. CX22 Diamond White, cover sub 118.3 pounds, 42.51 Ms. I don't know what that means. I just know that this makes a really good card. This is found at Paper Zone, and we have these locally here in the Seattle area. Normally this is $33.99, but I wisely bought it when I had a 40% off coupon. So I love sales, and I recommend that if you're going to buy this paper, first try a few sheets. They'll sell you the paper by the sheet. Don't dive in and buy a full case, or I'm sorry, a full ream, unless you've got a coupon and you think you're going to make a lot of cards. So 200 sheets. If you cut your cards in half, or if you cut the sheets in half, you'll get 400 cards out of this. So I love this paper. And you can't make cards without a cutter. So this is my favorite cutter. This is made by Fiskars. And let's see if I can get the whole thing in the frame here. So it's got this nice handle, and over here a safety lock so that I can pick it up by the handle for traveling. It used to have a shield, kind of like a shark fin, but it broke off, and that was fine with me. It always got in the way. And I don't know how well this will show up, but it has this nice grid for different card sizes, 3x5, 4x6, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's the standard one. Just all sorts of sizes. So this is very helpful. And we'll just take that paper and go to my favorite used mark right here, 5 1/2. And one of the things I love about this is I'm able to get a nice neat fold by just pushing up against the top here. And this brings me to my next favorite tool, my bone folder. These items I'm going to be showing you today are things that I use in almost every card I make. You get a nice crisp fold. I just think every card maker needs to have a bone folder. And talking about cutters, there's another cutter that I love. I won this at Impress Rubber Stamps. I don't know, it was a drawing or something. And this is wonderful. This is made by Tonic Studios. And what I love about this is I get a nice crisp cut every time I use this. I feel like the blade never goes dull, and I like this size because it's good for smaller pieces of paper. It doesn't have an arm that kicks out like some of these small cutters do. If it had an arm, it would allow me to cut large pieces of paper, but this is best for anything 5 1/4 by 8 1/2 inches or less. So I do bring both cutters when I go to crops. It's so much easier to cut 1-inch pieces on this cutter than it is on my large Fiskars cutter. And speaking of cutting, I love these Cutter Bee scissors. I don't use these for everything. These are primarily used when I've stamped something and I need to cut out the fine detail of the stamp. So you can find these at Joann's, Michael's, most craft stores, and I just used my Joann's coupon and got them for 40% off. So these stay very sharp. There's even a warning, the tip is sharp, and this is just a great pair of scissors by EK Success. The next favorite tool of mine is this punch. It's called the Modern Label. It's made by Stampin' Up, and I just love the shape of this. I've got a couple of tips for you. When using this to stamp, always stamp your sentiment first, and then turn this upside down, slide the paper through, and then punch. The reason you want to do that is so that you can center the sentiment in the punch. And I recently made this card. So the way I made that card was I simply punched this shape out of some scrap paper, and I hand wrote the sentiment in the Modern Label area. So imagine a piece of paper here, it's scrap, I punch it, it drops onto the desk here, I write my sentiment, and then I get an idea of how much space the words will take. Then I write the words on the real paper that I'll use, and then I punched them out with this. I hope that made sense. But anyway, I just wanted to explain how I use this. My next favorite things are adhesives. You may have seen my crafty blog post where I got this as a gift. This is my Scotch ATG 714. I think of it as my laser gun because this is huge, but it's very lightweight, easy to use, and I just love it. So this just gives me so much mileage. I've got just loads of adhesive, and this will last me months of making cards. Just a great tool. I love this. I don't always bring it to crops. That's why I have this. I love the Xyron double-sided adhesive, and it's just got these cartridges that I slide in here, and you're good to go. I don't remember how many feet this holds, feet of adhesive, but this is a great product. It does a very good job. It's very permanent, just like the sticky adhesive used in the Scotch ATG. So this is a great product. And you can find this at Joann's or Michael's. Use your 40% off coupon. Another favorite item is my Judykins Diamond Glaze. This is very good for sticking buttons to paper, sticking paper to paper. You can also mix it with other powders and things to make some paint, but I also like to use this to get a raised glossy surface. So this is just a great product. It's very versatile, and you can read the side of this at the store to learn exactly how to use it. It's got some great tips. And what card maker doesn't use this? This is the Scotch double-sided foam mount tape. Anytime you want to raise an image and pop it off of a card, this is just such a great product to use. And one of the things I like about it is it's not too thick. I've bought other products, and this foam is just so thick, it's hard to mail. It's really awkward. So this is a great product. Stampin' Up! Sells this mat. I don't know exactly the right name, but I call it the base for my pokey tool. And this is another product I wanted to talk about. So this is the paper piercer tool that I love to use, and I can get a nice straight line on my card by piercing these holes. It also has holes for eyelets, and like large ones and small ones, so that I can align them perfectly in the corners of my card. And I always use these two mats when piercing paper or when punching paper for eyelets. This is a nice hard surface, and this, do you see how the pokey tool went through? If you don't, that's okay, trust me. It went all the way through, and it hits this. So you want to use these two products together. Put your paper on top, use the paper piercer, and it'll keep your table from getting damaged. Great products. Well, we're at the end of the video, and I just want to show I love this VersaFine Onyx Black stamp pad. There's nothing really to see here when I open this, but it just allows me to get incredibly good detail in my stamps when I use it. And this is a Dawson Design stamp. So I had drawn this and stamped my old swirl stamp in the center. This is what I used to handwrite on the back of every card, but I sent this to rubberstamps.net and got myself a nice personalized stamp. So every card that I make has this on the back of it. Well, those are my favorite things, and thank you for watching.